the President, the Rotary Club of Kilimani, Alfajiri, the past presidents, members of the club, good evening. I'm delighted to be with you this evening to speak on a topic that is very germane to us. I have realized that this is a very serious enterprise. I came with about 10 jokes, but it's least likely I'll crack any of them. Because I've been told there are many presidents here. I don't know what AG means now. It's not the Attorney General of the Rotary Club. But Madam Attorney General, if you are the Attorney General, please bear with me. We're not going to expel you from the membership of the Law Society of Kenya. We have not seen anything untoward on your part. What is the role of the Law Society of Kenya? What is the Law Society of Kenya? Perhaps I could start with the second question. The Law Society is a body created by statute. For the first time, after a long period in the history of the practice of law in Kenya, Parliament enacted an act in 2014 creating the Law Society as a body governed by statute. In essence, therefore, the Law Society plays a very fundamental role in regulating the affairs of advocates in Kenya. Over and above that, the Law Society also plays a fundamental role in assisting the government of the Republic of Kenya in upholding the rule of law and constitutionalism. What then and how does the Law Society achieve its goals as given by statute? Let me start by setting out what a great philosopher said. Plato stated as follows: that good people do not require laws to guide them on what to do or how to behave. However, bad people will always find their way around the law. The question therefore is this, and I pose the question to the good members of the club, because though I'm not a member of the club, I believe I resonate with the ideals of the club, because the Rotary movement, the Rotary Club, as it has been stated, is a group of people who are in action. They act in 7 fundamental ways. I think the only reason why we are a country governed by the rule of law is because we are all bad men. Because if we are bad men, if we are good men, if we are good women, we would need laws to govern us. Kenya is a constitutional democracy. And the reason as to why we have the constitution is to check and limit the manner in which power is exercised by those who the people of Kenya have given the mandate in what we call in law, politics, and social science, the social contract. We have the executive, we have parliament, and we have the judiciary. In summary, the process starts with parliament. Parliament is the representation of the people. It constitutes the sovereign because it comes as a result of the will of the people expressed through a vote. Parliament makes laws. Parliament oversights the executive in its implementation of the laws. What does the executive do? The executive implements laws. The judiciary, on the other hand, is the arbiter, the one that determines disputes between or amongst the people or between the people and its leaders. In the recent past, it has been acknowledged that this is the state of Kenya as a country. We have an executive that is overbearing, we have a parliament that is emasculated, and we have a judiciary that is weakened. What have we done as the Law Society of Kenya to ensure that these three arms of government perform their duties as given by the Constitution for the benefit of the people of Kenya now and for a long time to come? And what we've done is not new. It has been done time before by those who preceded us in the leadership of the Law Society of Kenya. I'll give a short example. The clamor for multi-party democracy gained momentum when lawyers in Kenya, in particular through their leadership, took to the stage to demand that there be a return to multi-party democracy. And when did this happen? It happened during the reign of Honorable Paul Kibugi Wite. During his reign, he attempted to ensure that the judiciary was independent and accountable, so that the tenure of judges then was respected. During his reign, he endeavored to ensure that Parliament was accountable to the people and that the executive did not overreach. It is no wonder, therefore, that Honorable Paul Kibugi Wite resigned as the President of the Law Society of Kenya to seek elective office. And he didn't do that alone. Many other council members, as well as non-council members of the Law Society of Kenya, joined politics. And for a considerable period of time thereafter, from 1992, and I dare say up to 2003, there was accountability on the part of the government of Kenya. There have been ups and downs in the manner in which the Law Society of Kenya has ensured that it performs its duties from the period 2003 up to now. However, let me demonstrate what we have done in the recent past and what we propose to do. We will start with the legislature. It is very important that when laws are enacted by Parliament, the laws conform first with the Constitution and second, the demands of the people. It is therefore very important that we have a robust law society which is able to check and ensure that the laws that go through Parliament are beneficial for the Mwananchi. Look at what happened when the COVID-19 was discovered in Kenya in the month of March. The executive rushed Parliament to enact legislation, rules and regulations which were intended to combat the spread of this pandemic. However, it turned out to be that most of these acts, most of these rules and regulations ended up violating and infringing the rights of Kenyans. The Law Society of Kenya was at the forefront of monitoring Parliament, sending memorandum to Parliament, speaking about the key issues to ensure that the laws that come out of Parliament are beneficial and for sustainability. What about the executive? It must be understood that the Law Society of Kenya plays a fundamental role in oversighting, advising, and enabling the functions of the executive. And often, the executive has found this to be an inconvenience. And we cannot blame the executive, because as we indicated when we started, we are bad men and women. We require laws to enable us to do that which is right. Though often, some of us will find ways of going around the law. There are so many appointive officers within the executive, within independent offices under the Constitution, and independent offices we're looking at the Director of Public Prosecution, we're looking at the Attorney General, and when we talk about commissions, we're talking about the Judicial Service Commission, the IEBC, amongst many other commissions. Statute empowers the Law Society of Kenya to participate in the appointment of holders of that office. What have we done of late to ensure that the executive does not overreach? I'll give 2 or 3 examples. When there was a vacancy in the Tax Appeals Tribunal, an effort was made to appoint a retired judge of the Court of Appeal as the chair of that tribunal. The Law Society came out and said, no, this is not the best way to handle a situation of this kind, for several reasons. Because such a recruitment must be competitive and it must conform with the Constitution. But more importantly, what will be the propriety of taking a retired state officer back to public service? It does not conform with the dictates of the Constitution. Lastly, in this category, there has been a lot of drama in the county government of Nairobi. There is this monster called the Nairobi Metropolitan Service. It is not denied that there is need for the national government to ensure that devolved government benefits the people of Kenya. But this again must be done within the structure of the Constitution and within the confines of the law. No wonder therefore, when the Director General of Nairobi Metropolitan Services asked the Law Society of Kenya to appoint an advocate who will be the chair of the Fiscal Planning Committee, we said we will not second any of our members to that body because we don't recognize this entity as having any foundation in law. And as day succeeds night, notwithstanding the challenges and castigation from some of our members and members of the public, a court of law did indeed agree with us that there exists not in law an entity by the name Nairobi Metropolitan Services. Let me go to the judiciary. The judiciary plays a fundamental role in tying together the thread that sustains the social contract. Because if human beings are left to their own to determine what is right and what is wrong, they'll never be able to do that. No wonder, therefore, it is very important that we have a judiciary that is independent and accountable. A judiciary that will do the right thing when there is doubt as to whether what has to be done is right or wrong. To that end, the Law Society has in the recent past come to the defense of the judiciary whenever judges are attacked for having made decisions that appear to be unpopular to the executive. The Law Society has come out to demand that the judiciary be given sufficient funds to enable the development of courtrooms, to empower the judiciary to have funds to employ judges, magistrates, and judicial officers. And often, because the executive ranks high in the category of bad men and bad women, court orders tend not to be obeyed by the executive. I'll cite, for example, the order that was made by the court in the month of February this year, directing the President of the Republic of Kenya to swear in 41 judges that were nominated for appointment by the Judicial Service Commission. It was expected that this being a country governed by the rule of law, there will be no need for further action on this issue. But as we are bad men and bad women, the obvious happened. What did the Law Society of Kenya do? We initiated discussion with the executive. We initiated discussion with Parliament to see to it that we are able to get sufficient number of judges to sustain the heavy load of the judiciary. And when we didn't make substantial progress, we took 2 steps. we resolve as the Council of the Law Society to sanction the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, and Nditi, I'm not talking about you when I refer to the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, to sanction the Solicitor General of the Republic of Kenya by way of undertaking expulsion proceedings against them. What about the President of the Republic of Kenya? We resolved that we will recommend to the National Assembly and the Senate to consider impeaching the President of the Republic of Kenya for having failed to do that which is required of him under the Constitution and by a court order. Friends, Kenyans, in a nutshell, that is what the Law Society of Kenya is. And the Law Society of Kenya does not act in isolation. It is incumbent that all of us, ordinary citizens, professionals of whatever designation, leaders of whatever category, elected or appointed, that we work together to ensure that we make Kenya a better place than we found it. And for that reason, therefore, I will seek to extend an invitation to the Rotary Club, and in particular, the Rotary Club of Kilimani Alfajiri, to team up with the Law Society of Kenya to undertake many developmental projects, not only for the benefit of the lawyers, but for the benefit of the people of Kenya. It is my belief, I believe strongly shared by members of my council and the majority of the members of the Law Society of Kenya, that this is an opportune moment for everybody to make a mark. And there are many areas that require us to make a mark. I will give you only two before I close. This morning, we had a conference, one of its kind. It was dubbed the first conference of the Law Society of Kenya on the 2/3 gender rule. There were so many speakers this morning. All of them, including sitting members of parliament, said, Parliament has failed us. The judiciary has done its job. Parliament was required to enact laws to enable the implementation of the 2/3 gender rule. Parliament has failed us. On the 27th of August this year, about 2 weeks from now, we will be celebrating 10 years of the 2010 Constitution. What gains have we made? What have you achieved as Eric Kiriko? What have you benefited from this Constitution as Mwikali Kivuvali? Christine Kirave, what do you have to say? Is your situation better than it was before the 25th of August 2010? 2 days before the promulgation of the Constitution? Harun Gikera, how are you faring on? How is your business? How are your rights? Do you feel that the government is accountable to you? Do you feel that you're getting a good bargain out of the social contract? Friends, this is not a question that is limited to lawyers. It is a question that is germane to all of us. And when confronted with the question on what to do, always do the right thing. These are not my words. These are the words of the father of the former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, David Cameron. David Cameron says in his book, For the Record, that whenever he consulted his father on what to do, his father told him, son, in a contest between right and wrong, just do the right thing. I believe, friends, that this interaction will not end today, and that we'll have more occasions when we'll be able to interact. Because as I mentioned, I feel action. I resonate with the 7 pillars of the Rotary movement? Why don't we expand it and ensure that we have a better Kenya? Thank you so much.